My goodness. Oh, there we are. Okay. Oh, no. It looks weird tonight, doesn't it? Doesn't it look weird? Don't I look weird right now? Thank you, Pathos. It's not that it was muted. It's that the regular mic is in a box, and I had to change the input to be internal. So I apologize that none of my gizmos are here with me tonight. So the audio and the video are probably a little lackluster. Also, as you can see, I'm huge tonight. I'm big. I'm right in front of the camera. That is because the other room, the office, that is normally our backdrop for this show, is pretty gutted right now. We're in the process of moving. Let me do the intro real quick, and then I'll catch y'all up. Hey, it is now slightly after 7 p.m., and no matter where you are in a video store. The place for people to hang out and talk about movies online safely for people who miss hanging out and talking about movies in person. I am your host, Protextor. You can follow me on Instagram at Protextor. You can also follow the store on Instagram at YouAreInAVideoStore. Okay, so normally on this stream, I have my stream partner and co-host, Broom. I grew up. Honey, I blew up the kid. That's me. That's about me. Normally I have Stephanie Thoreson here co-hosting with me. She is currently about 90 minutes. Actually, I'm going to turn my phone's volume on, make sure I don't miss her. She is currently about 60 to 90 minutes outside of our new home in Los Angeles, en route. She's been driving for 3 days with our cat in the back seat. We have each other's info pulled up on Find My Phone. I was watching her cross the desert earlier. We talked a little bit ago. She's going to get to our new spot really soon. Maybe she'll hop on the stream if that happens. Probably not. She's probably going to have a lot to take care of. So we are moving to Los Angeles. I am going to follow her next Wednesday. And so let me just say right off the bat, there's not going to be a stream next week for that reason, because it's going to be my last night in Austin, and I'm going to have plenty to do, I am sure. And tonight's stream is going to be a shorter show as well. Obviously, we're in more of a makeshift setup here. I am in the back room with all the stuff in boxes around me, ready to hit the road with our dog. And, oh, that's perfect, Pathos. And I'm going to be heading out next week. So there will be no stream next week, and I'm going to also forewarn you there will be no Bamboozled talk tonight because I have not had time to watch it. Stephanie has not had time to watch it. We were... Steph was supposed to leave a week ago. If you're following the news, or if you live in Texas, you didn't need to follow the news. We went through basically a natural disaster emergency last week where a lot of the state, most of the state lost power. And we were lucky enough we had power, but we didn't want to stream because we were trying to help the grid conserve. So we played it low-key and just played some board games by candlelight last week instead. But suffice to say, it's been quite a hectic, very stressful time. Stephanie left on Monday instead of Sunday instead of last Monday, and I have plenty on my plate to get ready as well. So, fair warning, we did not get to watch much. What we did watch was mostly comfort food, and I'm excited to talk about the comfort food that I watched. I also would love to hear what y'all watched out there, what you got into. So, fuck it, let's go ahead and start the show. What up, Holden Wook? What up, Pathos? Hope y'all are having a good night so far, and welcome to the weird version of tonight's show. I do actually still have some new arrivals, however, for us tonight, because the mail got, shut down, obviously, for a whole week. But then once the sun started coming out and once the snow started melting, mail service resumed, and I got a lot of packages all at once. So I actually do have some stuff I'm going to be moving with stacked up right here to my left, and I'm going to be jumping into that for new arrivals. But first of all, how are y'all doing? Hope you're having a good week. I know tonight's stream is a little wonky, but we'll be back in full force with our brand new set in LA in 2 weeks. I'm actually really, really excited about that because we get to curate a brand new spot and get to build out where our recording area is, where our streaming area is. My favorite thing about being in any new space is decorating my room. So I can't wait for us to bring all the movies we're bringing out there. Not bringing all of them, don't have the room, bringing about half of them, but Ironically, bringing about half of them, even though I have to pack up and say goodbye to a lot of my favorite DVDs. For now, they're going in storage. I'm not getting rid of them. I'm really excited about having kind of a limited, like just horror tapes on the wall. I think it'll look cool. Interstellar 5555, yes. Pathos, we're going to call that. Here's the thing. There's not going to be movie club talk tonight. Like I said, I didn't get to watch Bamboozled. Neither did Stephanie, nor is she here. And Ryan, who was going to guest host tonight, had an unexpected conflict. So no Bamboozled talk tonight. We will get to that the next show. But I am totally down to double up on Interstellar 5555 because I'm also sad that Daft Punk called it quits. I tweeted this. It's not a lie. I distinctly remember listening to Discovery all the time when I was 15 and being so excited to get my driver's license just so I could listen to that album alone in the car and drive to it. It was the first thing I put in my first car. Very fond memories of listening to Daft Punk driving around. And yeah, huge fan. Also sad they called it quits, but also pretty legendary, awesome. I don't know if you'll watch the epilogue video they released, but I loved it. I loved it. Okay, let me get the ball rolling here. I want to hear what y'all watched this week, but let me get the ball rolling on what I watched. It ain't much. It's actually just 2 movies. I can't believe that in 2 weeks I only watched 2 movies, but that goes to show where my head's been at. First of all, I will say the things I've done for media that are not movies. I've been replaying through Portal 2 for, God, that sounds amazing, Pathos. Yeah, I'm very down for it. Don't worry. Maybe we can wait a week and make it the first movie club pick after we come back, or maybe we can just say, I agree that I will definitely watch this and talk about it. Whatever works. I have been playing through Portal 2 for PlayStation 3 because I'm going to pack up my PS3 and all the games for it and leave them behind. So while I'm in this weird fort situation, it's been really fun just like staying up with the dog and playing Portal 3 at night. I love that game. I love also that it's got that it's kind of built into 2 acts, and I'm in the oh god, I can't believe I'm not remembering his name. J.K. Simmons. His voice acting in it, so good. I love the game. Oh yeah, Holdenwick, yes, very much so. Very much so. Absolutely something we did when I was like, I can drive! I also remember there's a beat drop in one of the songs, and I always used to love going, like, doing this. Like, when the beat dropped, I go, so I thought I was a real cool driver. Pathos 2, Portal 2, Pathos, you. Yes, I've been loving it. Also been rewatching Community. I know I've spoken about this on the show before. I love all the seasons of Community. I'm currently in season 6. Yes, that is how much I've been watching. It's comfort food, again, during a stressful time. A lot of moving, and obviously other crap. I love it. And the thing I've said before about Community, later seasons, that I stand by, is that while it isn't the same show, the show asks you to realize that it's not the same show and to respect that it's not the same show. And I think the show does a pretty good job of wreaking that metaphor, that works, whatever, wreaking that metaphor into the show's reality and making it work. I dig it. Now, what are the movies I watched? Well, I watched 2, gentle viewers. I watched Sonic the Hedgehog again. Yes, I'm talking comfort food. I did not watch Pasolini movies this week. And I watched Sister Act 2, Back in the Habit, the best titled film of all time. Love them so much. Because why not? Yo, great job, nerds. What up, great job, nerds? I don't know what why not does, or if I'm supposed to do something when why not comes up. Pathos, if you know, please let me know. I'll do it. Why not? I'll do that. Why not? Hey, why not? The dog's behind me on my fort bed trying to get comfortable. So yeah, that's what I watched. I'll talk about it. First of all, Sonic the Hedgehog. Stephanie and I watched this, and something about it that stuck out to me is how 90s it is. I do not mean that in the sense that it is making 90s references. Obviously, it's Sonic the Hedgehog. It's full of 90s references. It's not that. It's that the script the way the movie's made, the way the jokes play out. Okay, the movie starts with a tracking shot over the water leading up to the city of San Francisco. That's very 90s to start your movie in that way. The movie also starts with a narration from Sonic that literally has a record scratch moment where he's like, "You're probably wondering how I ended up here." Again, a very 90s trope. Every aspect of this movie feels as though this was, maybe this is the case, I haven't looked into it. It feels as though the script was written in the 90s and it feels like this movie was made then. Like, it feels like a serviceable, solid family film from 2.5 decades ago. I love it. I don't think it's trying to be anything crazy. I think that it goes down easy and it is very fun to watch. And I think Ben Schwartz did a really great job. And Jim Carrey is kind of on fire. And poor, I'm forgetting his name. That's why I'm saying poor. Oh my God. Someone remind me. I just always want to call him Cyclops. Poor James Marsden. Always the gets cast as the loser. He's very charming in this movie. Anyway, I really dig Sonic the Hedgehog. I think it's one of my favorite video game adaptations. It is very much a movie that feels like it was made in another time. Other thing watched is a real 90s movie from 93, Sister Act 2. This is Stephanie's favorite movie of all time, so I don't want to talk too much about it because I know that when we come back, she's going to want to dive in. All I will say is Whoopi Goldberg is an incredible entertainer. This movie's, the beats it hits for its relatively straightforward, like troubled youth get taught by new teacher vibe, hits the beats right. Lauryn Hill's in it. She's incredible. And the music, it's basically a musical. I love Sister Act 2. I think it's wonderful. I do actually want to deep dive, and we'll back burner this. I do want to deep dive into the genre of, I don't even know what to call it, like stuff like Dangerous Minds, Sister Act 2, The Substitute, Stand and Deliver, Blackboard Jungle. There is a genre of like unruly inner city high school kids having, you know, their lives turned around by a new teacher. I think a part of that genre is definitely like, honestly stems out of like some racism and some need for like to visualize like this myth of the unruly like inner city kid being like set straight. I do think there's a problematic aspect to this genre, but I think Sister Act 2 transcends it. I think Sister Act 2, directed by Bill Duke, which I just learned, I think it's actually kind of an incredible movie and super slept on. That's all I'll say about it because it's Stephanie's favorite movie. We'll talk about it soon, but just some thoughts. Okay. Sorry you were losing audio, Vineet. We've been having a weird time. Obviously, it's a different setup tonight. Okay, let's talk about what you watched, because I didn't watch much. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Hey, happy birthday, Pathos. I just read that. Happy birthday. I didn't realize your birthday was last week. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Amazing. Script by Stuart Gordon. Am I right about that? I know, is it a story idea or did he write the script? Spaceballs. Holden Wook want to talk about movies we enjoyed, media we enjoyed as kids. I distinctly remember back in the day when you had to just hope things came on TV. I remember Holden Wook calling me and saying, "Spaceballs is on TV," and I like ran across the street to finish it. Big Pizza the Hut fan right here. Street Fighter Alpha, is that the anime? I want to hear more about that. And a weird movie called Gods of Egypt, which, if I recall correctly, is Thoreson Singh, right? Gods of Egypt. I actually really want to watch that. I think Thoreson Singh is pretty slept on. This is one I haven't seen from him. I'm a big fan of The Cell. I would love to hear your thoughts on Gods of Egypt. Holden Wook, watched Vegas Vacation. Never seen that one. Is it any good? I remember that came out, I want to say, what is that, 2001, 2002 that movie came out? I think I always like, I didn't grow up watching the National Lampoon movies. I didn't even grow up watching Christmas Vacation. It was not something that was on in my house. So National Lampoon's Vacation and National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation are two movies that I watched for the first time later in high school. Vegas Vacation, I always was like, I just didn't know what it was. I saw it at the video store and I was like, doesn't look like a comedy for me, but I'd be interested now. I love that you tried to double feature it with the Ed Helms remake. I have not seen that. I have heard it was very bad. It's decent. Cool. Everyone must be shiny, metal, and fly. That's right. That's right, Pathos. I gotta watch Gods of Egypt. That sounds rad. It's got Jamie, right? Jamie Lannister in it. Okay, let's see. Great job, nerds. Killer Joe, loved it. I want to say Killer Joe is I'm closing my eyes so I can force my memory to work before I look at my Google results. Friedkin, right? Friedkin, yes, confirmed. Friedkin is one of my favorite directors of all time. His later career stuff is really interesting. I think William Friedkin has made at least 3 perfect bona fide masterpieces, those being The Exorcist, The French Connection, and Sorcerer. I really love The Hunted with Tommy Lee Jones and Benicio del Toro. And I really liked Bug with Ashley Judd. And oh my God, I'm not firing all cylinders tonight, y'all. I don't know if you can tell, but past couple weeks have taken it out of your boy. What is his name? Someone help me here. He was in Take Shelter. He's incredible. He's one of my favorite actors. I feel so bad that I'm blanking. And Judas and the Black Messiah. That is one that we fully intended to watch because obviously Michael Shannon, thank you. Fully intended to rewatch or watch Judas and the Black Messiah. See, I said rewatch because I was looking at Black Messiah and I was like, yeah, I love that D'Angelo album. Judas and the Black Messiah. I have only heard incredible things about so far. Very excited about it. Did you feel that did you like the direction? Did you feel that it was one of those movies where the performances were the centerpiece, as sometimes happens? Or did you feel it was cohesively strong, Vineet? I'm really interested in that. I ask that question anytime someone calls out the performance of something first. Maybe that's a weird bias of mine. But we intended to watch that because of Newlyweds. Obviously didn't get around to it. We will, I promise. Okay, Pathos. There's something about what you didn't like about Sister Act 2. Let's read this. Very cliche to end performance. All the other choirs sing their song. The protagonist school. I mean, what I'm going to say to that is, heard. It's a family movie from 1993. You know, that's the peak era of disbelief suspension. I hear you on that. I'm going to say that I see this movie as a musical, and musicals operate in a way in which they are allowed to break the core grounded reality they exist in once the musical numbers start. I mean, music starts playing out of the blue, people start singing, and while Sister Act 2 is a backstage musical, which kind of harkens back to 1930s movies, I'm thinking of like a lot of Busby Berkeley stuff, 42nd Street, even Applause by Mamoulian. A lot of early musicals were about chorus girls trying to become the star, and all the numbers in those musicals were actually being performed within the diegetic reality of the film. Like, you see the band playing, you see the performers singing, but the camera would do things that would be impossible for us to view, especially Busby Berkeley. He's the one who is responsible for all those like top-down, synchronized swimming looking visual choreography that while these movies were about people performing on stage, no one in the audience would ever possibly see what we see as a film viewer. So I think of Sister Act 2 kind of in that. I know I rambled for a bit, but I think of Sister Act 2 as being in that camp. And most musicals get a pretty easy pass from me on that front. But I do hear you. It does ask it to be, it does want to be a grounded drama and that musical at the same time. So I get you. Also watch The Abyss. Mank. I really want to watch Mank. I cannot wait to watch Mank. Again, like, I cannot believe there's a new David Fincher movie out that I haven't seen. I am a giant David Fincher fan. Stephanie and I have actually been on a kick rewatching his movies. One of my favorite filmmakers. And I still haven't gotten around to Mank. Just haven't found the time. The Abyss, great job, nerds. I think you may have been out the week that The Abyss was our movie club pick. I don't even know if you knew it was a movie club pick, but a couple months ago, that was our movie club pick. I would love to hear your thoughts on The Abyss, because we certainly got very deep into it. I don't remember how we felt about the ending. I'm honestly having a hard time remembering. Oh no, the ending. Yeah, we talked a lot about that. It's clumsy, and the movie does not super hold together well. I think there's a reason that movie didn't become as much of a cultural phenomenon as I think maybe Cameron thought it would be. Also, very much feels like a warm up to Titanic. What Dreams May Come. Yes, I agree with you, Vineet. I read that book in junior high. I was really obsessed with Richard Matheson, I Am Legend, and What Dreams May Come specifically. And I read those two. I read those two books, and What Dreams May Come was one of my favorite books in junior high. And I remember rewatching the movie. I'd seen it as a kid. I remember rewatching it and being a little bummed out by it once it becomes the hard fantasy. The hell aspect, like Dante aspect of that movie, still pretty effective and visually evocative. And Robin Williams is always nice to see. He will forever be very missed by me. Amadeus, The Big Short, Wolf of Wall Street. I love that you did a double feature of Big Short and Wolf of Wall Street during the Game Stunk. Did anyone else get Dogecoin? Because I did. Help your boy get some Dogecoin. Go buy that. Don't buy it right now. Actually, it's too high. But anyway, surprise Herzog cameo. And What Dreams May Come. I do not remember that at all. I loved The Big Short. Only saw it in theaters. Question for you, Holdenwick. Have you seen Vice, which was Adam McKay's other like docudrama follow-up to Big Short? Did you see it and did you like it? I personally like both of them. I do think that they're both super strong movies that I don't see standing the test of time because they are so topical. But I would love to rewatch them. My take. And I've still never seen Amadeus. That is a big, glaring, gaping hole in my film watching history. I think Holdenwick has been telling me, you gotta watch Amadeus. It's fucking awesome. Probably since I was like 12 years old. So I'm gonna do you a solid, Holdenwick, and I'm gonna set some time aside to watch Amadeus finally. Okay, great job, nerds. Just catching up. Whole thing about aliens threatening us because they want us to be better was lame. I don't really remember that, although it sounds like you're describing the plot to The Day the Earth Stood Still, and in that movie, it's kind of incredible. So what's your take on that? Do you not like that idea, or did The Abyss just do it poorly? I would love to know. Speaking of Titanic, in the last week, there is a fully edited alternate ending to the movie. Please drop the link. Drop the link. All right, y'all. Oh, okay. I get you. Yeah, I knew that you had. I'm keeping an eye on my phone, by the way, because Steph's gonna FaceTime me, and I'll put her on the stream once she arrives at our new spot. Thank you, Pathos. No press, no rush. Yeah, I need to watch that. I also want to rewatch What Dreams May Come. Really interesting smattering of movies, y'all. I'm curious, like, why y'all picked these. Because I have just, and I ask that because I have had such a hard time just settling on, granted, my brain's been all over the place. We've had a difficult couple weeks, but I've had a hard time just like picking something and committing to it. I've had major option overload lately. And I just want to know, like, what drew you to these? Why did you watch What Dreams May Come in this moment? Why did you watch The Abyss? I honestly, it's a question of total curiosity. Thank you. I will watch this later. Gonna open in a new tab. Boop. Unseen, it says. Pausing that. Oh boy. You know what else I have been watching is WandaVision. And I don't want to necessarily get too deep into WandaVision in case some of y'all aren't watching it. It's a very like in the style, it's a very like mystery box kind of show. It's a very Abrams kind of show. I think that's why I like it so much, because it's doing that, but I trust Kevin Feige a lot more with long-term story than I trust JJ. I don't trust JJ Abrams with long-term story at all. I trust JJ Abrams to give me a first act that I love and a third act that disappoints me. I trust Kevin Feige to take it home. So I'm really, really excited about WandaVision. I am also loving it. It gives me that vibe of like a mystery show, but I also trust the MCU so much that I feel like I can actually like commit to loving the mystery in a way that I've kind of been jaded on um, since I was younger. What are your thoughts? Um, yes, I've actually recently gone down the deep path of watching some YouTube videos on the different Easter eggs that are in there. Uh, Unique visual effects. I love that. I love that, Vineet. I want to encourage you, great job, nerds, as a follow-up to What Dreams May Come. I want to encourage you to watch, if you can find it. Let's see. I think it's free streaming. You know, have a little Grandpa's Lettuce and see if you can find. I'm Googling it right now. Oh yeah, it's on YouTube for free. Not the best resolution, but let's see here. That's not bad. I'm going to drop the link. Now, I don't know how you are, how you dig silent films or don't dig silent films. This is a movie called L'Inferno, L'Inferno, probably. It's Italian. It is the first movie produced in Italy ever. It is from 1911. It is an adaptation of Dante's Inferno. The visual effects in it are stunning. I think it's a legitimately very scary movie. The devil effects and the hell effects are crazy awesome. And the multiple buried heads sequence from What Dreams May Come really reminds me of this movie. I got the chance to watch this a couple years ago when it was at Alamo with a live score from the synthesizer player from Goblin, the Italian synth band. It was a really great experience. Maybe you can find a higher res version of it out there, but I recommend that. Also for visual effects, since I know you're a huge Speed Racer fan, great job, nerds, I also want to recommend to you an anime called Redline. Nice. Dude, so I'm going to give you, if you're into the cool visual effects, I'm going to give you a little trippy feat right here. I am going to recommend that you watch L'Inferno. I also am going to recommend that you watch, I just had it, Hakusan. If you've never seen Hakusan, go gobble it up. It's incredible. And then, what is the other one that I want to tell you? Whatever, just those two for now. Those are my two favorite silent films in terms of visual effects. Hakusan is a mockumentary about witchcraft that is a Swedish movie that was made to appear like a real documentary on real witches. It's got some incredible latex masks, some double screen work. Really, really good stuff. Oh, you saw Place. I read Place. Redline, super fun. It's anime, so I know the visual effects don't quite line up, but it is pretty strikingly interesting anime effects. RoboCop for free. They butchered it. Oh, that's unfortunate. RoboCop is a movie that needs to be a hard R. The satire dies the more you censor it. Anyway. I love that. I didn't even notice. I'm going to upvote that comment. All right. What other incredible visual effects? Now you got my mind going because this is actually one of my favorite things. Are you into like you watched Society not too long ago, and I know that like if you get into the world of latex horror from the 80s, you're gonna have a treasure trove of visual effects there. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna say the Adventures of Prince Ahmed. I recommended it a few weeks ago. It's silent animated, but in terms of animation, incredible game-changing animation. Yeah, if I think of anything else, I'll let you know throughout the course of the stream. Like I said, I'm sorry my brain is just a little dull tonight, so I'm not as quick as I want to be. Not that I'm normally super quick. Let's think about... It's also weird without a co-host. I'll be real with y'all. Without Stephanie here, to have a dialogue and pass it back and forth, I think my brain is having a harder time because I want to talk as the host and not have dead air. But I also need time to think. So, forgive me. Redline is so fun. Right now I'm trying to figure out what tapes and movies I want to bring to our new spot. And Redline was on the short list. I think I'm going to leave it behind, but I am giving it one last watch. You know, one interesting thing with weird special effects, fun special effects that I just thought of is Fantastic Voyage. I don't know if any of y'all have ever seen that. Probably have. Probably grew up watching it at some point if you're from a similar generation to me. Um, Fantastic Voyage is the first, as far as I know, the first. Oh, you know what? I'm going to real quickly drop The Lost World 1925 in here, too. That's the first adaptation of the Sir Arthur Conan Doyle book. The dinosaur effects in this movie are wicked cool. What was I just saying? Fantastic Voyage. 60s sci-fi. It's the first movie where people shrink down to go inside of the president's body to save him. Slow burning 60s sci-fi. Like, be awake for it, you know? Like, be real. A lot of 60s sci-fi can knock me out if I watch it too late at night. Just something about the gentle film stock of that time. But really cool effects. And the reason I think of that is because when I'm thinking about things that I want to bring with me to my new spot with limited space versus things that I need to say, hey, this is on streaming, it'll be in a box waiting for me, I don't need to watch it in the next year. One thing is the Planet of the Apes franchise, the original, not the new incredible Matt Reeves trilogy, but the 60s and 70s movies. I got a box set of all of them not too long ago. It's super cheap. You can find it out there pretty cheap. And I haven't ever seen any of them other than the very first one. So my goal in the next week before I leave, because it takes up a lot of space on the shelf, but I'm not like in love with the franchise in a way where I need to have it with me. So my goal is to watch every one of those before I'm out. So I started Beneath the Planet of the Apes. That's number 2 last night. Did not finish it, got a little sleepy, had to throw on Lego Batman movie to fall asleep to. Not technically counting that as a movie I watched because I haven't finished either one of them yet, but I do love Lego Batman movie. It is, I think, just so wonderful. It's so fun and so wholesome and just nails the world. It's truly a gift to Bats fans. Anyway, Planet of the Apes, 60s sci-fi, you can find some cool effects stuff living in there too. Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. I remember having a hard time following that plot because I watched it too late at night, too long ago. And I've actually seen it pop up weirdly in the zeitgeist here and there, and I want to get back to it. Well, okay, y'all. Like I said, it's going to be a short stream. Probably won't even go much longer than an hour tonight, but I do want to... I love the original Planet of the Apes. It's wonderful. I don't know if I want to say this. I feel bad for saying this. I'll say it because I can't not now. Charlton Heston has I do not like Charlton Heston as an actor. I don't like his I don't like his screen presence. I don't like the way he holds himself. He gives me creepy youth pastor energy, and I just can't. I don't like his boomer Christian vibes. They creep me out. I'm sorry. I know that he's actually was very progressive in his day. He's featured in the King documentary from 1968. He marched for the civil rights movement. I know that he pushed for representation in the films he did. I respect him as someone in Hollywood from that time. I don't love watching him act. Maybe I'm being too hard on the guy. And I'm not talking about later dementia. I'm not talking about later Alzheimer's version of him either. I think it's kind of a cheap shot to go after that. But yeah, that's what it is. It's always Charlton Heston, and he always seems kind of self-important. I think Pathos and Holdenwook, y'all are nailing it. That's what it is for me. So I'm honestly I love the Planet of the Apes lore, the world building, and I'm really excited because I only made it about 30 minutes into Beneath the Planet of the Apes, but it's a torch passing first act. You get a little bit of his character Taylor and I forget Luna. Her name's not Luna. Zola. It's a Z name. I'm forgetting. His companion. And there's a torch passing to a guy named Grant, who looks just like him, but is a better actor. And I'm excited to see this lore build out. I mean, give me that Roddy McDowell any day of the week. I'm excited to see it, and I think the makeup in it is really fun. All right, y'all. I'm gonna keep the show moving. If we missed anything, if I missed any chat comments, if you want to circle back to one of these movies, I know we just kind of plowed through them. Feel free to drop that in the chat. Say, no, let's go back. Let's talk more about WandaVision or whatever. By the way, every time I say WandaVision out loud, I think Long Division. And I'm going to write that down right now because I want to remember that rhyme so that I can put it into a rap. WandaVision, Long Division. Done. Let's talk about WandaVision for a sec, actually. It's hard to talk about without spoiling. I will say they've been nailing the aesthetic of the shows they're doing. I am very, very excited to see what this is leading into. I have not seen that. Is it a new... There's so many videos, fan-made videos out there breaking stuff down. I don't think I could keep track. Drop a link. I will check it out. I did watch a breakdown of the Easter eggs from episode 7. I will say the more that I learn about this show and its Easter eggs, the more impressed I am, and the more I realize just how much incredible detail has gone into it in a pre-production sort of way. Here's a fun thing. This is a spoiler-free Easter egg. The license plate for Agnes's car is a hex code for the color of well, now it is a spoiler. For the color of some magic. It's a hex code for that. Isn't that crazy? I just think that is that show is stacked in ways I would not have even thought of. Little Nemo the Dream Master. That is so hard to find. Well, dang, maybe it's time to try to get better, try to get my Spanish back, and watch that. Maybe I'll watch it in Spanish and see if it helps. Okay, we've got a Blu-ray of it though. I will tell y'all, it's the Criterion Flash sale today, by the way. I apologize to anybody who didn't know that and wants to hold on to their money. I personally feel like I'm exercising a great deal of self-control. I didn't buy a single thing from it. But if you're a collector and you want some Criterions, it is their Flash sale going right now. And if you are a Arrow fan and you have a region-free player, Arrow's British website is having a 30% off anniversary sale. So, sorry for telling you that. Little Nemo. It's out here, though. It's on Blu-ray. It's $30. Does not look particularly common. Might try to stream that before buying it. I'm just getting stars. Huh. Well, don't stress it. We'll find it. Okay. I mean, if you drop that link, I'm just going to open a new tab and save that. Let's see here. Set my mind at ease. Hey. Sorry for singing while I check our stats real quick. Go for it! Drop it now! No, it didn't work. Tell you what. Oh, you're not on Facebook. Hey, great job, nerds. If you want to Instagram DM me that link, I'll drop it in the chat. If you want to. Someone borked up. Well, we're going to move on because I do have to do more packing tonight. I know it's going to be a short stream. I just want to say I'm really grateful for everyone being so understanding. and patient, because I know that the streams have been wonky on my end because of all the change going on. But I'm going to put up a little GIF from 1998 of a little construction sign that says under construction. And I promise you, on the other side of that is a whole new video store that we are currently building. That said, rivals. Cool. All right, y'all. First off, is Unreal Tournament. This is my favorite first-person shooter of all time. In high school, this was installed on the LAN network in my high school's newsroom. I worked on the newspaper. I played it every single day. I have it on PS2, but my PS2 crapped out on me. It won't play blue discs, which is a common problem for first gens of PlayStation 2. I don't want to buy a new console. I don't want to move with the PS2. I'm going to put it in storage for now, but I am moving with the Dreamcast, so I picked this up so I can play some Creature Comforts because I love this game. This is the GOAT to me. This came in the mail today. It's not high res like the PS2 one is. It does have online play. I will keep you posted. I'm going to hook up a modem to the Dreamcast, and I'm going to see if I can find online players that are still playing this online. If so, I will absolutely be streaming that on the Monday stream. Even if not, I'll be streaming this on the Monday stream. That's Rapper Playing Games. That's the Monday stream. That's also postponed. I'm sorry. Coming up next. Now, I don't know if Glowcat is here tonight. They might not be. I know they took the night off their own stream, so maybe they're chilling. But I got to shout out Glowcat. Glowcat created something of complete beauty. Oh no, Pathos, I'm sorry. I only find that funny because my dog has been causing a ruckus this week. Okay, so if you've watched the show, you know that I'm a big fan of the mixtape, the VHS mixtape. Stephanie is too. This is something we're going to watch in LA. I'm not going to watch it until... I was going to watch it last night because I was so excited it came in the mail. I'm going to save it for her. This is a tribute to MF Doom. Spell the man's name in all caps. Let me get this in a good view. It's a VHS mixtape to MF Doom, the original villain. You can read some of the text on the front here. I'll read it out loud because it's harder to see. Featuring fan-made music videos for the entirety of Food, as well as other fan-made videos for other projects, and Czarface, Danger Doom, JJ Doom, Victor Von, Mad Villain. It's a VHS tribute. Look at this beautiful spine. Doom. Doom. So what this is basically the entirety of the Food record done via fan-made music videos plus bonus content. And Glowcat, through Scrubhouse Video Club, the organization that made this, manufactured this, they did a limited run. I was able to pick one up. And it's a thing of beauty. I'm going to love having it on the shelf. Huge MF Doom fan. And I really respect that they made this, because this also is going to, a portion of the proceeds they made from this is also being donated directly to MF Doom's family. So I felt really good buying this. I've been you see a lot of like cash-in stuff. This is coming from a real fan who is making it as a loving tribute and then sending some of the money to Doom's fam. So I'm really proud to have been able to pick this up. Super stoked on it. Let's talk about some other tapes. These are not mixtapes. Talked about this with Steph on the stream pretty recently, Eyes of Laura Mars. This is one of my favorite movies. I would describe this movie as an American Giallo. Giallo, of course, being the Italian horror genre that is mostly about solving murder mysteries, generally with some sense of either supernatural threat or maybe supernaturally capable killer. Essentially, Giallo, we've talked about it before. Crash course, Giallo means yellow in Italian. It's a reference to pulp novels. Giallo movies are procedural horror movies that operate with atmosphere, crime-solving procedural elements, and bursts of extreme violence. This, in particular, was directed by Irvin Kershner, who went on to direct Empire Strikes Back, he was selected to direct Empire Strikes Back, handpicked by Lucas because of this movie. This movie is a New York crime drama about a woman who, kind of like Goosebumps, Say Cheese and Die style, has the ability, the curse. She's a fashion photographer who likes staging provocative, murderous fashion shoots, and those fashion shoots come to life. The crimes she depicts happen to people. And so she has like a supernatural element of being kind of clairvoyant and has to team up with the police to find the murderer. Faye Dunaway plays the lead role. Tommy Lee Jones is in it as well, and it's a really good supporting role. Really one of my favorite flicks. Highly recommend Eyes of Laura Mars. And we'll talk about this more on the show once Steph and I get to watch it. Because I think last week or the week before, it must have been the week before, she was talking about how she was basically talking about the kind of movie she wanted to watch, and she was perfectly describing giallos. So we're probably going to go on a pretty good giallo kick. As I mentioned earlier, I'm auditing which movies I'm moving with and which I'm not. I'm bringing all the giallos. And by the way, if anyone has a lead on an affordable copy of Arrow Video's Bava Blu-ray box set, please let me know. It was only released 2 years ago, and it's $400 on eBay, and I'm not spending that money, but I would really love to watch it. Shot in the dark. Next, Pasolini, Arabian Nights. This is one of Pasolini's... now, Criterion released this in a box set along with Canterbury Tales and the Decameron. I forget what they call Trilogy of Life is what they called it. I'm not sure if that is something he put onto it or something Criterion put onto it. What I will say is that all three of them are really, the trilogy of them is tied together. They're all medieval works of fiction that are anthology stories that he brings to life and gives this very earthy, very queer, very sexual vibe to. Arabian Nights being the most explicit of the three of them. I think my favorite as well of the three of them, although Decameron gives it a run for its money. Decameron being a medieval text that focuses on several peasants who are huddled together surviving the Black Plague, telling each other stories, bawdy, sexy, really kind of dick and fart joke stories. That's the Decameron. Canterbury Tales, obviously adaptation of some of Chaucer's tales from Canterbury Tales, and this obviously adaptation of some of the Arabian Nights stories. Real reason I was excited to get this, I have this on Blu-ray, but the real reason I bought it on tape is because I now have the entire Pasolini collection on tape from Waterbearer Films. Each of the spines is a different color. The rest are in a box en route to LA. Once I get there and put them on the shelf, I'm going to Roy G. Biv that shit, take a picture and put it on the gram. I cannot wait to see how these display. I typically try to at least I always at least want to love the movies that I'm excited about displaying, but with the case of Pasolini, I'm really excited to have a director's section of tapes with a unified theme. Also, just making sure I'm not missing anyone in the chat, I'm going to refresh real quick. Last message I got in the chat was, great job, nerds, so amazing. Just keep it track. Another one of my favorites, Dead Ringers, Cronenberg. I love this movie. Let's see if I can get it with my face here. There we go. I love this movie. I'm Jeremy Irons' twin, and I love it so much. Now, how does Jeremy Irons talk? He simply talks like this. I'm bad at his voice. And I'm a bad boy generally. One of my favorite Cronenbergs. I think my favorite being The Fly. This was his follow-up to The Fly. This is kind of a turn for Cronenberg because he was very much, obviously, we think of Cronenberg probably as a body horror director, rightfully so. Dead Ringers is a really interesting crossfade in between Cronenberg's body horror work and his later like psychological horror work, because after Dead Ringers we would get Existenz, which also is like mind and body crossing over, and then we get into pure mind like Cosmopolis, A Dangerous Method, Eastern Promises, History of Violence, and we get into his later emotional work. Dead Ringers, nothing supernatural happening in it. It is about twin gynecologists who who basically live as one person, and so maybe not, they're not trying to be malicious, but they're definitely amoral. Not immoral in the sense that they are deliberately trying to be bad. Amoral in the sense they don't know what morals are. And kind of the psychological degradation of this woman, played by Genevieve Bujold, that takes place at their hands. Really horrifying, brilliantly told movie. One of my favorites. Oh no! I'm so sorry, Holden Wook. Is this Halloween screening? Queen screening. I don't know what that means, but I'm curious. One bum thing. I know this is picky and stupid of me. This is a Video Treasures release. I was kind of hoping this was going to be an original. The original isn't super rare. I got this for $3, so I'm not complaining. And the guy who sold it to me is a really good dude. So Video Treasures is a re-release company that basically did second runs of popular movies that were put out by other VHS companies. Kind of bought up the rights to put out a bunch of stuff in the early 90s. And so the only reason I'm bummed it's a Video Treasures release and not the original is because sometimes that duplication process takes a little resolution out of it. And as tapes are already, pretty grainy format, I like the OGs. Finally, if we are talking about Halloween screenings and we're talking about grainy old tapes, this is my holy grail that arrived in the week. TerrorVision. I am so... Let's see if I can line this one up with my eye. I am so beyond stoked that this came. It is in beautiful condition. Vinny, there you go. Great job, nerds, for your cool effects. I dig this movie so hard. This is one of the Lightning Video. Lightning Video was a video brand that put out a lot of horror, and it's super sought after now. So this is a holy grail for a lot of folks. I was able to find it for a really good price. I ordered it a long time ago. Kind of forgot I ordered it, and then it showed up right after the snow and the ice melted. It also came with a full-ass, I don't want to unfold, it's in the other room. I don't want to unfold it. I want to keep it as safe as possible for the move, but a full-size 27 by 40 inch movie theater lobby poster for this came with the tape. It's an original 86 poster, octo folded, like they used to ship posters to the theaters with that 8-fold in it. And it's just beautiful. So I can't wait to give that a proper frame and hang that up in the new spot. That's definitely a piece of art that is going to go on the well. Oh, if it's a Halloween movie, I get you. Not necessarily. I don't think I ever watched it for Halloween, to be honest. I remember when I worked at the Hut Video in Iowa City, Iowa in high school. My boss, Dave, I was asking him, I said, my girlfriend and I want a good thriller. What's a good thriller that I haven't heard of? And he said, you ever see Dead Ringers? That scares the shit out of girls because it's about literally duplicitous gynecologists. It preying on a lot of fears. I was more bothered by it than her. I would not say this is a Halloween movie. I would say this is a psychosexual thriller. I don't think that it's horrific in the sense that it needs to be tied to Halloween, but I also tend to go pretty pure horror for the month of October. This is absolutely a Halloween screening. This movie's really fun. This movie's just about aliens who come through satellite dishes. It's a heavy-handed metaphor for television consumption being unhealthy. It would make for a fantastic double feature with The Stuff, another heavy-handed but excellent effects-driven metaphor movie. Love it. You brought a grilled cheese sandwich. I'm so happy. You should scoop up some of the kimchi that Holden Wook's cat knocked on the floor and put it on that grilled cheese. And with that, y'all, that brings us to the end of new arrivals. So, normally we would go into movie club at this point, but we're not going to do movie club tonight. Really quickly, let's get a gut check on how many of us are hanging out here. This is going to be a short stream. I got to be real with y'all. I feel a little guilty that, I don't feel guilty about last week because the state was in crisis. I feel a little guilty that I didn't better prepare for the move and have a better way to do this show during it. But uh, life is very chaotic. God laughs when you make plans, and we're getting through it. So, yes, Wedge. Wedge had a daughter. Congratulations to Wedge and Abigail. That is so amazing. Well, we're going to have to give Wedge and Abby a huge amount of love when they come back to watching again. Yeah, I think it's just us. I think it's just us hanging out tonight, actually, y'all, and that's awesome. This is a low key stream, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. But before we do, let's talk about the things we're interested in watching in the weeks ahead, and maybe we can sync up on a few of them, so we have even more to talk about. I'm gonna go ahead and say that Bamboozled remains the movie club pick because we never got the chance to break it down. Stephanie and I haven't gotten the chance to watch it. I really can't wait to watch it. And the Blu-ray for it is actually packed in a box in a pod moving to LA. I will also say that Interstellar 5555 should be something we try to watch in honor of the great late Daft Punk, as well as Electroma, their other experimental film. Would love to try and watch both of those. Golden Globe noms, yes. I know that in the next week, my personal goal for better, you know what? I'm going to bring the stack of movies that I put over by the TV, which is mere feet away from me. I'm going to bring them over here and be real with y'all about the stuff I'm going to try and watch. If you're interested in it, great. If you're not, cool. All right. You can also tell that I have not had a haircut in over a year now. It's getting pretty wild up in here, y'all. Okay, here are the movies that I'm going to try and watch. I'll really quickly go through these. If you've seen any of them and you have thoughts, shout it out. I want to know. I want to know. I want to know. Ah. Okay, word up, Pathos. I hear you on that. It shall happen. We'll make it so. Okay, I'm going to rattle these off because I got a big stack. And I haven't seen them, so I don't have much to say about them. Well, I've seen a few of them. Beneath the Planet of the Apes. As I said, I'm going to try and watch through my box set of Planet of the Apes this week. This is the first sequel, the second movie in the franchise. I'm digging it so far. I heard it's bad. I'm enjoying it. I heard that the third one is incredible. I can't wait to get there. See if I can watch all of them before I move. John Wick, everyone's seen this. It fucking whips. It's awesome as shit. It's amazing. This is going to be a late night watch for me when I'm feeling overwhelmed and stressed from moving, 100%. Change for Life. This is a super exploitative movie about a real life conjoined twin couple, conjoined twin sisters. And this movie was made by an exploitation filmmaker in the 50s. And it is essentially the story of one of them commits murder and do they both go to jail for it. It's an hour long. It's trashy as hell. It is 1950s shock cinema. I kind of feel guilty for owning it, but it's a piece of film history, and I'm going to watch it. SWAT Cats, my favorite Hanna-Barbera 90s cartoon. Maybe that's not true. Two Stupid Dogs is also awesome, but I love this show. It's still A-Cab all day, but I love the SWAT Cats, and I am going to be watching this to relax as well. Belle de Jour, I think that maybe Criterion put out a nice version of this. Actually, I'm going to look that up right now. Belle de Jour, Criterion. They did indeed put it out. Cool. Well, then I don't feel too bad about leaving this behind. I've had this for a while. Belle de Jour, though, is Catherine Deneuve in a Buñuel movie. It's a Buñuel movie that I haven't seen, and I love Buñuel, so check it out. Buñuel, fantastic provocateur, surrealist. He made L'Âge d'Or with Salvador Dali. He also made The Eye Slitting Open, Un Chien Andalou. And then he made a lot of stuff critiquing the bourgeoisie, critiquing rich people in France and Spain. And this is that. Speaking of women in prison, this is an original women in prison flick. It's called Caged. Whereas a lot of women in prison movies are straight up 70s exploitation revolving around nudity and girl-on-girl violence, this is actually has Agnes Moorehead and Eleanor Parker in it. It's from the Warner Archive Collection. It is apparently fantastic. It's a legitimate drama about a good girl. I think it's from the 50s. So, 1949. So very much about like the good girl who falls in with the bad crowd. Late 40s drama. Might watch this tonight, honestly. I just kind of got myself hyped talking about it. This is one of my favorite movies. It's silly as hell. Party 7. If you don't know, I gotta make sure I get his name right. Katsushito Ishii. Katsushito Ishii is one of my favorite directors. I don't know what he's been up to lately, but I do know that he's made at least 2 or 3 of my favorite movies. He's the director of Redline, that anime racing movie we talked about earlier. This actually has an extended anime intro sequence. This is basically like, Katsushito Ishii is like kind of a Japanese Tarantino, Seijun Suzuki hybrid. He makes super experimental, fun movies. He made a movie called Shark Skin Man and Peach Hip Girl, which is a super Tarantino-y crime movie about a couple, a Bonnie and Clyde style couple. I love that movie. He also made a movie called Funky Forest, which is about an alien invasion. Party 7 is one I'm going to leave behind. Party 7 is about a bunch of weirdos who end up stuck in the same hotel together. It's a very silly, kind of experimental Japanese movie from the early aughts. Now, this director made one of my favorite movies of all time, which is called The Taste of Tea, from 2010, I want to say. And The Taste of Tea, while his other movies are a bit more like pop art, Taste of Tea, I think, is like truly phenomenal film that I really would recommend, and is one of the best movies, I think, of the decade that it came out in. I'm going to watch The Black Hole. Probably something I'm going to fall asleep to. Disney sci-fi from the 80s. Really slept on. Not a great movie. Super corny Star Wars ripoff, but also awesome. It's really awesome. You want to talk about fun visual effects, Vineet? I would recommend The Black Hole and Tron if you want to do a little double feature of where Disney was at as they were trying to break through on special effects in that era. Here's a late night blinds closed watch, Sex World. Talked a little bit about this when it was in the New Arrival. I don't know much about it. It's from Vinegar Syndrome. They put out a lot of great stuff. Sex World is a Westworld parody, but apparently is highly regarded as a movie that transcended 70s porn parodies and actually is a legitimate kind of stark drama about the limits of how sex can comfort us, and actually like a self-critical porn. I've only heard fascinating things about how this is a movie making fun of another movie with unsimulated sex in it that is also somehow a hard-hitting emotional drama about sexual fatigue. And anyway, I'm fascinated by the description on the back of this box. Can't wait to watch it. Circling back, I'm going to finish the last movie of this box set, watch me The New Barbarians. Big ups to Castellari. And then finally, y'all know I love me some 90s action. So Sphere. What do we got here? I love that. I love that for you, Pathos. If you have any SWAT Cats fan content, I will watch it. In Bruges is so good, and Thirst I have not seen. I actually have I have a vampire movie here called Thirst from the 70s that I haven't seen. Maybe I'll watch that, and you watch Park Chan-wook's Thirst, and we can talk about how the different thirsts are. Kung Fu and Titties. Well, if that doesn't sum it up, I don't know what does. Holden Book, I love Sphere too. I haven't seen it in forever. I remember this was I think Sphere might be the first I read the book movie of my life. Because I was a big Jurassic Park fan, so I read the book after the movie came out, and then I discovered Michael Crichton, read Sphere, and then they made a movie of it, and I ate it up. Yeah, I'm going to have a good time rewatching that one. Thirsty! That's right. Kung Fu and Titties makes me thirsty as well. All right, y'all. I think I'm going to wrap the show up there. I told you I was just going to go for an hour. I apologize for hopping off early, but I do want to say thank you for coming regardless. Next week, there's not going to be a stream. Before we hop off, if anyone wants to make a recommendation that hasn't been mentioned, I'm all for it. I know that what's in my homework to watch in the next couple weeks is... That's amazing, Pathos. I love when that happens. I mean, I hate when that happens, but it's always thrilling. Or it was always thrilling. I know that I'm going to watch... God, I want to rewatch The Cell now. and in Bruges. Okay. Interstellar 5555. What's the other one? Electroma, the Daft Punk films. Gonna watch those. Gonna watch Bamboozled. I'm still gonna keep trying to watch Black Cinema as much as I can for the rest of the month. Gonna watch Judas and the Black Messiah, since we watched Newlyweeds. I also want to recommend Agnes Varda's short film Black Panthers. If you have Criterion Channel or you have other access to it, it's called Black Panthers. It's a half-hour long. It's a documentary from the 70s. If you watched Judas and the Black Messiah and you enjoyed it, go watch Black Panthers. Fantastic documentary. Oh, they wouldn't give you your money back, huh? Well, that sounds very silly. Last time something died on me halfway, it was the Pinocchio ride at Disneyland, and it was horrifying as they guided us out through it with the ride broken down. Horrifying. I think that movie's scary. Try being trapped in the 3D version of it with soulless eyes staring at you from a million animatronics frozen in place. All right, y'all. Let's watch those movies. Let me type them out real quick. Interstellar. You're making me want to watch Interstellar the more I say this. 5555. Electroma. Those are both Daft Punk flicks. Bamboozled, which many of you probably watched. Judas and Black Messiah. And I don't know, what else did I just mention? I'm blanking, y'all. Let's put those out there. Those are the 4 I'm going to watch to be able to talk about. And again, some other stuff. I hope that you all are hanging in there, having a good start to your year, even though it seems like something crazy happens every day / week. If you're watching from Texas, I hope you are safe. The next time you see me will be in 2 weeks. I will be with Stephanie. We will have a brand new, beautiful backdrop, and we will be broadcasting live from Hollywood, USA, baby. So stick with us. I'll see you then. Feel free to DM me on the Instagram if anything comes up in the meantime. You are in a video store on Insta. Would love to see you there as well. And yes, I will enjoy the Titanic alternate ending as well as the fan-made or the fan breakdown of the, I will say, the song from WandaVision. Y'all, stay safe. I truly love all of you. Have a wonderful night. And I will see you real soon. Don't be a stranger. And get home safe. Black Lives Matter. Watch more movies. Good night.
You are in a video store. Say you are in a video store. You are in a video store. Say you are in a video store. You are in a video store. Say you are in a video store. You are in a video store. Say you are in a video. Suzuki, these movies take you to New Orleans. We recommend it, yeah. Never pretentious, yeah. It's never ending, yeah. Just where our head is, yeah. It's one Kauai, Slaughterhouse 5. Those Hollywood nights are Hong Kong on fire. I could watch it all night, but stop and rewind. Watch it again, you strapped in, ain't no stopping the ride. Ask Ginger Rogers the time. Swing down to Broadway and lights. Ishii, Mike, Tarkovsky, Almodovar, Von Sternberg, Dietrich, Garbo, Garfield, Heathcliff, Transformers over on the 80s TV show. You need a hand, we can reach it. Moving silence like Bernal Melly is me. She was spending afternoons with Maya, then watch Freddy Got Fingered. They saw love for that silver screen, baby, what that TV do? And we here every week too, so don't you touch that dial, bruh. We ain't skipping the previews. You are in a video store. Say you are in a video store. You are in a video store. Say you are in a video store. You are in a video store. Say you are in a video store. You are in a video store. Say you are in a video. You are in a video store. Say you are in a video store. You are in a video store. Say you are in a video store. You are in a video store. Say you are in a video store. You are in a video store. Say you are in a video. You are in a video. You are in a rental shop. Welcome to the 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 rental shop.